Hi, I'm ProTrader69 and we're going to be taking a little look at APHRIA today. I'm going to be looking at Aurora Cannabis and I'm going to be looking at Supreme Pharmaceuticals over the next few days when I can make a video. So how I've pictured APHRIA is I've drawn these two support and resistance lines. Here's the resistance line and here's the support line. There was this wedge shape forming, and generally how wedge shapes work is if you can see that there's a higher lows and lower highs, it creates this wedge shape of uncertainty where people aren't exactly sure where the stock is headed next. Is it going to go higher? Is it going to go lower? People don't know. People stop trading it. Volatility goes down, as we can see here. Volatility has been going lower as people try to find what the price should be in the absence of news. So there is no news. There are some news stories, I should say, but there haven't been groundbreaking news to redefine the marijuana industry. Those news stories are going to happen in April, so we still have a time to wait. So anyways, we have broken that support down here, which means we're kind of in no man's land a little bit here. And there is plenty of uncertainty because of what I said, how the liberals plan to legalize marijuana. All right, so we're going to be taking also a little look at some fundamental information. Let's see if I can pop that up. So APHRIA is the name of the company. That's important information. We've got 3 analysts that are currently giving APHRIA a strong buy, 3 analysts that give it a buy, 1 analyst that says to give it a hold, and then 0 that either gave it a sell or a strong sell. So the average analyst rating is a buy to a strong buy. The mean price target given from all these analysts, some were more bullish, said it should be past $6 a share in the next year, and some were more bearish, saying it should be given about a 4 to a 5 in the next year. However, the mean price target was 5.4, which is about 20 to 30% increase in share value from its current close. So let's go to the pros for what I understand of APHRIA. I think APHRIA is a great company because it is consistently showing positive earnings for the last 3 quarters. It's headed by Vic Neufeld, who is a name brand in Canada. I know my parents use Jameson vitamins, and it was a Canadian brand name for a lot of households. So Vic Neufeld is very respected in the pharmaceutical world in Canada. He's got ties to Shoppers Drug Mart, and he has a lot of dealings with other smaller pharmacies across Canada. He has about 80 to 90 million in free cash. This cash was raised previously in the year through share dilution, and he's been holding on to this cash, making small investments. I think that a lot of those investments are great ideas. I've been following his investments of how he's been spending his money, and there hasn't been anything that stuck out like a sore thumb where I've been thinking to myself, why is he doing that? They have a price to earnings ratio currently of about 180 and a 1-year target of 136. If you think that price to earnings ratio is crazy, you should look at all the other companies. All right, we'll look at the cons of APHRIA. This doesn't have the same brand power that Canopy has, given that Canopy has the rights to use Snoop Dogg's name and put it on products. And Organigram has the same deal made with the Trailer Park Boys, where there's going to be Trailer Park Boys brand weed. APHRIA just doesn't have that weed. They just don't have Trailer Park Boy weed. However, APHRIA's market is geared towards pharmacies where you might be prescribed APHRIA, or pharmacists might recommend APHRIA. And I think that's what's going to be APHRIA's selling power, is through these Shoppers Drug Marts, through these other types of pharmacies. Another con that I was able to identify was that people might compare the square size of Aurora Sky to APHRIA. APHRIA's greenhouses most likely won't be able to produce the same amount of cannabis per square foot. this isn't a huge problem. It just means that some of the numbers when it comes to greenhouses might be overvaluing how much cannabis APHRIA can produce in the short term. All right, and that's the end of that little analysis on APHRIA. There will be another analysis on Aurora and on Supreme Pharmaceuticals coming up in the near future. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe. And also, you can feel free to leave me any questions or comments in the comment section below. Until next time.